I made a huge mistake about 20 years ago, and that has, without a doubt in my mind, cost me over $1 million. Join me today if you don't want to make the same horrible, horrible mistake. Hey, Frank Thomas here from Wealth Generation Strategies, and today I'm going to be talking to you about my $1 million mistake. But I'm going to also provide you with what I think are 5 tangible steps that you can take to avoid making this very costly error. So let's get started. Let me start my story here. This all started about 20 years ago. I had picked up one of Derek Foster's books, and it talked about stop working. And the whole idea, the whole premise behind this book is to show you how to invest into dividend-based stocks and why you would and how they work, etc., etc., etc. I won't lie to you. I read his books. I ate them up. He wrote like 4 or 5 books, and he kind of dived into different facets of the whole idea that he had, that he used in his life. And boy, like I said, I ate them up. I thought, this is the golden ticket. I was like very excited, and I loved his idea. And like I said earlier, even better, Derek laid out a plan on how to properly invest into good dividend stocks. So you might think, so what's the problem, Frank? Come on, what's the problem, boy? Here comes the $1 million mistake. I procrastinated. I didn't procrastinate a week or even a month, but I procrastinated over 20 years. Now, let me defend myself. Yes, I know you can either have results or excuses, and this might sound like an excuse, but I'm going to eventually tell you what I've learned since then, so I got results. So let's get started here. So how did it happen? And how can you avoid making this very same mistake? These are the 5 strategies that I've come up with, that I've instituted to ensure that this went away. I came to this place when I was in my late 50s and went, oh crap, I'm in trouble. I haven't got hardly anything saved, and retirement is just, I can see retirement's around the corner if I want to retire. So let's get started with point number 1, and this is a big one. Number 1 is don't let obstacles stop you. You're going to have obstacles regardless of what you do, and you've got to overcome them. And remember, when it comes to obstacles, time is always against you. It's like playing a Mario Brothers game, and time is against you. You've got to get over those obstacles in the game now. And it's the same in real life. You will encounter obstacles. I did encounter obstacles. For example, when I was reading this book, it was talking about the fact that, now, this was the days before things like Questrade and Wealthsimple and all these other wonderful these wonderful apps. And they make it really easy, I won't lie. You had to actually buy a stock through somebody else, and you actually bought a physical stock. Now, once you bought a physical stock, you could have taken that stock and then associated it with a stockbroker. And then you could continue to buy stocks, and you were started. I struggled to get that first stock. And it wasn't like you think. I don't want to give away too much yet, and I'll get to that. But it wasn't like what you think, and we'll leave it at that. Number 2, don't allow too much time to go by. And this is part and parcel to the first one. Bruce Lee has a quote that says, if you spend too much time thinking about a thing, you'll never get it done. How true is that? The longer it takes for you to take initial action, exponentially raises the chances of you never completing what you set yourself out to do. Just think about that for a second. The longer it takes to get your butt in gear, the chances of you actually getting it is dropping by the minute. Okay? So how do you avoid it? Create a time-based plan. Basically, figure out what your steps are. Doesn't have to be perfect, and then put a time on it. Say, I'm going to figure out how to do this by this date, and don't make it 3 months out. And I'm jumping ahead of myself, but don't make it 3 months out, because the more time you put to something, again, the chances of you completing it start to become less and less and less. Only allow so much time to go by before you complete your next action step. And don't let too much time go by before subscribing and hitting the notification bell. That way, you'll know when I drop the next wealth generating video and you won't want to miss it. Point number 3, the problem is only big in your mind. And this is the twin brother to allowing too much time to go by. When you delay, you have too much time to think about the problem. Your brain is always looking for reasons that it will not work. Hey, oh yeah, like that won't work because, oh, where are you going to buy that stock? Or that won't work because, oh yeah, and I don't know, and doubt creeps in and you don't get it done. I'm living proof of it. So you got to go back to your plan. Only focus on the next step. My first step was to get a stock and do anything I needed to do to get that first paper stock. And I didn't do it. I thought about it too long and it became too huge a problem. So stick to your plan, only focus on the next step, and I'm assuming your plan has been written down because now it becomes tangible goals. And it's almost like you're telling your brain, oh yeah, we are definitely doing this, okay? We're definitely doing this. When you write it down and your plan is written down, your brain thinks differently. I won't lie. Step number 4, get started. You've already started if you've drafted an initial plan. There's a quote that I love, and I don't know who said it, but it's a great quote. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Take the moment and make it perfect. Getting started is always the hardest part, and I like to state something Newton said. I think it was his first law. Now I've adapted it a little bit for the circumstances here, but it reads about the same. Newton said that an object at rest remains at rest, and if in motion, it will stay in motion unless acted upon by an external force. So once you get started, you're on your journey and you can keep going because now it's harder. You have to actually apply an external force to stop it. And there's an external force that's lurking in the dark places that can get you. And it's point number 5. Stick to the plan for the long haul. Everything is always exciting in the beginning. It's always exciting. Oh, this is so cool. And you'll pour your life into it. But as the weeks and the months tick by, it gets really easy to quietly quit. And you never complete your goal. Remember that creating real wealth will take time. You can't make $1 million in 2 weeks. So it's going to take some time to collect that $1 million. Prepare for a 20-year window. Don't go, oh, man. Prepare for that 20-year window. And I'm going to say to you, if you stick to your plan and you continue to pour into it, assume 20 to 25 years. But it won't take that long. I've actually sat down with people and seen them do this in under 10 years. And honestly, when they were completed, they were not disappointed, and neither will you. Just get going, get started, make a plan, and just don't let the long haul grind you down. Even when it comes to saving, there's days I'm like, oh, this is taking forever. I've saved almost $200,000 now, and I'm like, oh, this is taking forever. Oh, and it's just killing me, and I want to put more into it, and circumstances aren't allowing me to do that at the moment. But I am committed. I am committed to getting this done, and everything that I'm doing is towards that goal. And you'll find this will happen to you too. If you decide to stick to your plan for the long haul, what's going to happen is you're going to become more and more dedicated to your plan, and you'll do anything to make that plan happen. But it's easy to drop it, but stick to it. Just stick to it. You might be asking, why do I call this my $1 million mistake? And I think this is important to actually tell you why. So 20 years ago, I had banked about $100,000 and was just sitting in a savings account. If I would have invested that money and continued to add to this fund at around $500 a month for the next 20 years and gleaned around a 10% rate of return, and I think it's realistic because I'll tell you why in a second, I would have over $1 million today. Over $1 million. I could actually be talking to you from a different angle saying, hey, I did this and now you can too. Unfortunately, I delayed for the next 17 years and didn't get my butt in gear until about 3 and change years ago. But I do have a bonus for you. And this bonus is a game changer. And it is, you will learn on the journey. I did start to invest over 3 years ago. And I was only making about 5% returns on my dividend stocks in the beginning. But as I was on my journey, I continued to learn about better investment vehicles to accelerate my results. Today, I'm making over 16% returns on my whole portfolio as an average. So what happens if on my 20-year journey, I had got 16%? What would happen? What would that mean? Remember before it was just over $1 million? It would be $3.1 million today. Same money in, different results. And I know that this is possible because I'm doing it now. And I'm just, oh man, if I could kick myself in the arse again, kick myself again, because wow, what a difference that makes. So don't procrastinate. And that's the big reason for this video. Learn to get it done, build a plan. Don't let obstacles get in your way. And just continue to save. If you are starting out and you have nothing right now, I have just created a video. I dropped it about 3 or 4 days ago. It's called How to Build Wealth from Nothing, Getting Started. So be sure to watch that video. I'm sure you're going to enjoy it, and it's going to give you a tangible plan to help you step by step get started from making nothing. Okay, so check that out. Otherwise, thank you for joining me today. And avoid this $1 million mistake. Oh, you just want to, because regret is terrible. Okay, I'll just leave it at that. It's terrible. But I have decided that, as I mentioned in the video that I just recommended to you, I do mention that there's 2 times to plant your money tree. 20 years ago and today. So start digging. Frank Thomas here. Thanks for joining me today. Ciao for now.